it doesn't feel good. That's where you draw the line. That's it. You can. What are
Right.
you going to do
You
if
do
you're in
have
a
to rejuvenate.
right?
So now you're writing a new book.
Yes.
And what is your new book about?
The new book is actually autobiography. It's a more elaborated version of the book that was out. That's
Hmm.
out. It's an actual book. It's going to have close to 90,000 words,
Wow.
300 pages. And the reason I started writing it is I got so many requests from people saying, why don't you just write an autobiography? And I said, because I don't think my life is that important. But it's not that it's important. There are things in it that might help other people understand. For example, people who immigrated from other countries and they go through the same things that I went through, and maybe they can't figure out what to do. And yes, it took me about 2 years to say, okay, I'll write it. And there are so many things that when you read it, they're going to make you laugh. They're going to make you think, oh my God, well, how did that happen? There's plus I'm bringing it Romania, the communist regime, and how to live there,
Hmm.
and and what we used to do, how we used to walk to school for half an hour in the winter and come back home half an hour walking and wake up at 2, 3 in the morning to get a liter of milk, from the grocery store. Because if you woke up later, you couldn't get it. It wasn't enough.
Right, exactly.
And a lot of different things that even now, I'm married to my husband for almost 11 years, and I still say things to him that to him are new. He's like, wow, really? It's that how it was? And yeah, it's just a different different story. People like stories,
Well,
especially if
I
it's
love
true.
your story because it goes from, you know, pretty much being secluded in a world that you knew, and a world that's all you knew, into, it's really spreading your wings and taking the risk to come here, and knowing that you came here, with your then husband, and spreading your wings, and then having everything stifled again, and to be able to learn what you learned, and as quickly as you learned it, and then to be able to stand up and say, no, I'm going to do what my passion is, and that's music.
Mm-hmm.
And to be able to take all of that, and again, you're not playing a victim at all. You have no regrets, you have no really anger in you whatsoever, because everything that has occurred in your life has brought you to the point where you are now.
Yes.
Everything is giving you the strength that you have.
Yes, and I never ever knew that I have this kind of strength until I went through certain things that pushed me to that limit where, I had to recognize it. Otherwise, I would have fallen off the cliff.
Mm-hmm.
I had to recognize it. I was pushed into it. And, excuse me, um, as much as it looks like my ex-husband was a bad person and he had his own issues, his own problems, but he actually helped me tremendously. And I say this with all my heart. I'm not just saying it.
Yeah.
He doesn't realize that he actually helped me a lot because but the only reason I got helped is because I got out of it. Because see, if I decided to stay there and take it over and over again for the rest of my life, that won't that's not help.
Right.
That's I would have been in a very bad situation. But the fact that I got out, um, yeah, I look back and I can't have any regrets. I can't. The
No.
only sometimes I feel that it's moving and it moved a bit much slower here. Uh, I'm used to a fast-paced life in general, but it's only because I had to basically learn everything from scratch, from learning, speaking English and everything, and
Yeah.
that's why it took a little bit longer here.
Yeah. But when you look at young women today, and women of all ages actually, who are in not the best relationship, and I don't want to go with the abuse, and I don't want to go with that, but when they're in a restrictive relationship where they don't feel that they have that out, when they don't feel that they have that power, they do have that power. And if they just find it within themselves and find that one little spark like you did, that's the catalyst to keep you going, and to find your way out, and to find your bearings, and to stand up and say, I'm done, and to be able to walk out.
Yes. And sometimes walking out is not the resolution.
Right.
Because some people might misunderstand this. Sometimes the resolution can be as simple as communicating. Because I noticed many of the couples that are married today, they simply don't communicate.
Yeah.
So, and they get they divorce too quickly. The divorce rate is really high,
right,
as compared to 30 years. And sometimes it can only take communication between the two, and many times it's misunderstandings. But with my ex-husband, it wasn't. You have to also know how to recognize what the problem really is. We were just not good for each other. I was bad for him, and he was bad for me. That was it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So
just a remarkable story. And now your book is coming out, you said, in a couple months, 2-3 months maybe?
Yes.
Oh, wonderful.
It's going to be called The Story Behind the Song. I had so many different titles, but it all came down to the same one. And people who also are going to be in charge of editing and working with me, everybody that I asked chose this title. I had many other titles available. They said, no, this is the best title, The Story Behind the Song.
It's a beautiful title, because it is you.
Yes, I had to use the subtitle of the first book as the main title of the second book.
I love it. Well, now, where can people find your current CD and your book? Remember who you are.
At the moment on my website at iamangelica.com, and that's iamangelica.com. And I have a couple of links there. It's also listed with Barnes & Noble in the United States, but through my website is the easiest to get.
It is.
Because it's not the shelf. It's not on the shelf in Barnes & Noble.
Right,
so
you have to pre-order it. Yep, exactly.
But from the website, it goes directly.
Well,
so it's iamangelica.com.
Well, this is absolutely fantastic, and I am absolutely, again, thrilled that you are with us. Now, are you out touring at all? Are you performing yet?
I'm performing locally now in Canada because these past 6-7 months I stayed put and worked on my CD and my piano skills. I'm also working on a new album that's going to come out after the book comes out. Yeah, so I work like almost the past year. I haven't gone in the United States. I worked a lot, and I performed here in Canada.
Wonderful.
Well, once they're released, I'm going to be released.
Yoo-hoo! I know, and I can't wait. I can't wait. But you are performing around in Toronto and up in Canada, so if people want to find out where you are going to be, they can look on your website.
My website, yes. Absolutely.
Well, Angelica, thank you very, very, very much for coming on. And again, it is always, always, always a pleasure to talk to you.
Oh, Zita, I really appreciate you having me on your show, and it is a pleasure, and I'm really looking forward to meeting you in person too. You're a lovely person.
We're going to do that one of these days, and I will have you back. Let me know when the book is finished and when it's out, and we'll bring you back on, and we'll talk about your new release, and we'll go from there, and we'll get your album out, and again, we'll keep promoting your music and get people out there to hear it.
Thank you so much, Zita.
Thank you, Angelica. You have a great night. Say hello to your husband for me.
Yes, thank you.
I didn't hear him giggling in the background this time.
No, it's my daughter, actually.
She's in the background giggling.
She's in the background giggling, yeah.
I love it. Kids
She's
giggling
like, oh, Mom, you're live on the radio.
That's right. There she is. She can hear me. Well, Angelica, thank you very much. And we're going to go ahead and close out your segment. And I'm going to go ahead and play the title song from this Remember Who You Are, which I think is the utmost important piece of your CD, because it is what people have to remember. Remember who you are.
Yes,
and don't forget
that's the ultimate. Thank you so much, Zita.
Thank you very much, Angelica. And we'll be right back. You listen to Broader View on the Hazy Radio Network.
It's not supposed to be this way. There are feelings inside and words you can't say, and you try and hope to break through your sadness, holding on to beliefs of what life should be like. Nothing else left to say. Cherish your greatness. Answers are easy for the pure of heart to find. Remember who you are. Release your inner child. Remember who you quiet your mind, let your soul guide. Losing yourself in games and fake smiles, they only show you who you are now. It's alright, you lost your way for a while. Time to be still. The truth lies inside. Nothing else left to say. So cherish your greatness. Answers are easy for the pure of heart to find. Who you are. Release your inner child. Remember who you are. Quiet your mind. Let your soul guide. Wherever you are, whatever you do, remember and know that love is in you. Remember who you are. Release your inner child. Remember who you are. Quiet your mind. Let your soul controlling thoughts, controlling words, have tried to shut my song. I didn't look beyond the darkness. I thought that I was wrong. They cut my wings and tried to give me a